Every project starts with the dream of an individual, of a person. In the other axis, in front of the individual, we have the environment, the collective, the group, the world. And these two pieces are very, very important for every project. When the project starts, it's very about my ideas, my dreams. And when it starts to develop, it gets more collective, public, and in relation to the world. The other axis of these quadrants that you see here, for every project, we have a lot of theory in the beginning of a project. So when we start, everything is a lot about ideas, and it's a lot about the mind, no? And emotions as well. And when it starts to develop, it gets more into the practice. And so we say in Dragon Dreaming that the first step of every project, it's called the dreaming phase. And it's very much about me and how my group of friends or colleagues think that this project should be. You know how many dreams we have per day? How many ideas? There is a calculation apparently. 60,000 around. We can spend all our lives in the dreaming phase and not really do anything. So then we need the courage and the motivation to cross this threshold and move together to the next phase. What do you think is the next phase in any project? Planning, exactly, planning. Yes. And what do you think planning is? Sometimes this phase can be challenging, but sometimes it can be also a lot of fun, because we start like to materialize, we start to see a bit more what our dream was about. We start to see, oh, this is the way, how we're gonna make it possible. What is the next phase? Doing. I'm not gonna explain what doing is, because I think we all know. I'm gonna move into the next phase. And what do you think celebration is? Enjoying, reflecting, exactly. Celebration is very much about reflection, about valuing what we have done, what we have learned, what we have achieved. We have 4 parts in the Dragon Dreaming Wheel, which are the dreaming, the planning, the doing, and the celebration. And each of these parts are stages in the project management field. So any project should start with a dreaming phase, where we receive the awareness and the motivation to create a project to change something in our environment. Then we have the planning phase, where we think globally and we design a strategy, and then we also test our strategy. Then we have the doing phase. In the doing phase, we act locally and we implement what we ideally dreamt and planned. We manage and monitor, and we start to get some results of our project. And then finally, we have the celebration phase, which is more about understanding, receiving feedback, valuing people, being personal. So it's more about transformative results and achieving wisdom. This wheel, it's coming from many, let's say, it has many influences. One of them is the map of the brain, okay? So let's say that I place myself here. This is the right side of my brain, and this is the left side of my brain. What is normally the right side of my brain? Creativity. Yes. What else?
Intuition.
Intuition, emotions, good. And if I were to ask you about the energy, What type of energy contains the creativity, the intuition, the emotion? It's more feminine, exactly, it's more feminine. And what is the left? In terms of the rational logic, yes, what else? You have
Calculation.
calculation. And it's more the, what type of energy?
Masculine.
The masculine energy, exactly. Exactly. And this will, it's also coming from the system theory, like how all nature systems work, okay? How nature works, how animals work, and how individual human beings work, okay? I'm going to explain why. Because if you think about your life, when you're small, you dream a lot when you're a child. And you dream how your life is going to be. Then when you move into adolescence, you start like to plan. Oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to study, I'm going to travel, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And then when you're in the adulthood, hopefully, that should be me now, doing what I planned. And then when you get to an older age, you start to celebrate. You start to harvest the experience of your whole life. You start like to become, in some way, a child again. I don't know if you've seen your grandparents or even my parents that are turning now a bit older. It's super beautiful to see how they are becoming a child again. And they just want to enjoy life. So it's very much about the celebration. And in systems theory, we have also what we call the fractals, a small part that contains the information of the whole. So the same thing that we had here for our lives, we have it for our daily day. I don't know if that exists. Daily. When we dream at night, and then in the morning, we tend to plan. How is our day going to be, what we want to do? Then we do it. And hopefully at night, we celebrate. There are many ways of celebrating. So we celebrate. It's important to know that for a project, for life to work in a perfect balance, we need these four energies. So we need a dreaming energy, we need a planning, a doing, and a celebration energy. And so in projects, it's exactly the same. And with people, it's exactly the same. So in projects or in life, we have people that are more dreamers, people that are more planners, people that are more doers, and some people are more celebrators. And to find the equilibrium in anything, we need these profiles, we need these four archetypes, we need these four different types of people. Because if not, we say in Dragon Dreaming that our project won't be sustainable.
Yeah.